Hey everyone, I'm Tori from Tori Banashi, a YouTube channel about things I like. And right now, I really like Windbreaker. Anime and manga Windbreaker, not a webtoon. I have no idea what's webtoon about. Is it good? Is it bad? I have no idea. So today we're having a podcast episode dedicated to Windbreaker. And I'll give you a short outline what it's going to be in this podcast. So first of all, I will talk about Windbreaker anime, then Windbreaker manga, and Windbreaker fandom, and the last gonna be Windbreaker manga but with spoilers. So you can listen the first part without being spoiled in anything in manga, but as soon it's gonna be on like timestamp, there's going to be a spoiler part in the end of the video. And video, audio, I don't know, like how do you listen? This is podcast, so you can just listen to it. Windbreaker anime part. So let's start with how did I get into Windbreaker? It's actually a story. It's not just I was scrolling through Crunchyroll or seasonal anime chart. It's more than that. So first of all, when the trailer was released, the first thing I noticed two things. The first things I was like, oh, it's another delinquent anime, and at the time Buchigiri already was airing, and Buchigiri, I'm not going here about Buchigiri. Buchigiri is my psychological trauma. I hate this anime with whatever. Anyway, we're not like, but it was right after Buchigiri, and I was like, oh, another delinquents, oh, another Shota Todoroki haircut guy. So I wasn't impressed by trailer. But the second thing that I've noticed is just insane seiyuu cast. I was like, what? what? And it's been years since I started something watching just for seiyuu casts. Like, I used to do that a lot. I used to watch shitty anime just because I like voice actors in there. But not anymore. I don't do that anymore. And I didn't plan to do that just for that. But I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh, Nobunaga Shimazaki, Uchida Yuma, Nakamura Yuichi, what? Uchida Koki, and oh my god, I'm sorry, I forgot Denji's seiyuu name, because he's newbie. I know very old school generation of seiyuu. The next one after them, and most recent ones, I can recognize their voices, but I don't remember their names, so I'm sorry, Denji seiyuu. I wish you all the best, because I actually watched him in a couple of anime. I watched him in an idol anime, Unite Up, so yeah. So it was seiyuu cast. I was like, okay, more seiyuu, amazing. I watched the first the story time. So basically, I watched first episode when I was in Tokyo, right before my Haikyuu pilgrimage. I stayed at Tokyo at first, and it was aired. Windbreaker anime first episode was airing at night. And we were in a very, very, very small hotel room. And it was 3 hours. There were 2 beds. Like, oh my god, like in a fan fiction. And actually, yeah, I shared a bed with a person. Oh my god, that sounds so weird. Anyway, and we were watching Windbreaker, but it was like late at night. And I and other person who has separate bed, we were watching it. Like, we were actually watching it, giving our opinion. And another person, she fell asleep. And that was the moment that another person, we decided to turn off the TV and stop watching Windbreaker. And as soon as we'd done that, my bed neighbor person woke up and was like, no, I was watching. So this is my first impression of Windbreaker anime. I mean, I wasn't paying too much attention, but I paid attention that action scenes were very well directed, and it was the coolest part wasn't only like long shots, but I actually liked the Sakura's POV moment. It was like very cool, I think. And it was nice to discover that Sakura's POV shot was also in manga, so it was dedicated to the source material. So yeah, like this was my first impression, and I properly watched Windbreaker when I was back at home after a Haikyuu pilgrimage trip. And I liked tsundere characters, so I was charmed by Sakura, but one of the first things that made my blood boil was first Umemiya appearance. If you listen to my Jujutsu Kaisen podcast video, you know that I'm getting a little bit crazy as soon as I hear Nakamura Yuichi voice. And Umemiya is voiced by Nakamura Yuichi, and there was a scene in anime when he started talking and everyone, in like every delinquent boy, just shut up and start listening to him, and I was like, oh yeah, I have the same reaction when I hear Nakamura Yuichi voice. So it was like, but Umemiya is not my favorite character. Even though he has so much potential to be one, he's not. Maybe because I'm still, I don't know, like I'm not recovered with my Gojo trauma. I don't risk to be attracted to the same vibe, the same voice character again. So I'm looking to absolutely opposite characters to be attracted to, and there is one in Windbreaker, but I'm gonna talk about him in spoiler zone. So yeah, and but my next favorite character, like the character who made me, oh my god, it's insane. It was Togame Jo. And he's voiced by Umehara Yuichiro, and I really love Umehara Yuichiro. And I think in Winbreaker they gave him a little bit more freedom in the way he acted, because he's the one he has an amazing voice, but he's always kind of typecasted. But Togame acts sometimes like, oh, sometimes he's so slow and goofy, but then he's suddenly feral and he's very emotional, and now he's scary, and now he's depressed, and now he's like mega. I don't know what did I mean by that, whatever. Anyway, let's call him Kame-chan. I call him Kame-chan like Choji calls him. So Kame-chan was another awakening of my enjoyment of this series, but I remember the episode before. I liked the way Suo treated the other guy. I was like, oh, I like people who mentally abuse other ones. In fiction. Well, huge disclaimer, in fiction. This is for just entertainment. And another thing, I was watching Sako and Hiragi's fight at my friend's place, and I was like, everything I watch at home, I watch from my iPad or from my laptop. But at her place, she has a big TV, and I was watching this episode, Sako and Hiragi fight at her giant TV, and I actually literally was screaming at this screen. I was like, why? What's the sad gay drama in this? I think I even like was throwing things because I wasn't like expecting to get so emotional. Like in retrospective, I understand that a lot of things in Winbreaker anime works so well, like including like visuals amazing, seiyuu cast amazing, but one more thing is music. I really like soundtrack. I listen to it a lot. I like to draw while listen to Windbreaker soundtrack. The music is amazing. It's very emotional. It makes me also very emotional. So yeah, I'm very excited for next season. Windbreaker manga spoiler-free part. So I wasn't planning to read manga, but I decided to give it a shot, and I don't even remember why. Maybe I had some free time, or maybe some spoilers were that made me curious. One of them probably was Tsubakino. He's a character who appeared in the last episode of season 1, and I really like characters who cross-dress. I really like a lot of them. and I like reading mangas. And for some reason, by the way, for some reason, Shonen Jump has so many series with such characters. One was like a dentist, it's touching me, I think the name. And another one that I'm reading right now is Marriage Toxin. And also I'm watching, it's not Jump, but whatever, I'm watching Senpai wa Otokonoga. So as a person who enjoys this type of characters, I was curious who he is, what's his deal, and manga, of course, answered all those questions, but it's not in a spoiler section. So yeah, and I started reading manga, and the first thing that I noticed that I don't like to make assumption about others people. But in this case, it's a theory, right? It's not. I'm not claiming anything. I'm not trying to put any. It's just my personal feelings. I think Satoru Nii sensei is a fudanshi, or like any other kind of fujin. You know, like I think this person knows what's going on. Because I mentioned Shonen Jump before, and I know like some Shonen Jump series, I think their let's say fujoshi fanservice could be unintentional. Like the characters has just so much chemistry, so people put them into a relationship, and it could happen accidentally. But some of them are done. Oh, by the way, I mentioned like the dentist manga. And when I was reading it, I was thinking, oh, this person probably draws boys love manga. And guess what? I was right. I'm not saying that I'm right about anything about Satoru Nii sensei, but there is like few signs that showing us that they probably like boys love or boys love related content, because one of the things they made a fan art of Hypnosis Mic Division Rap Battle, which is not boys love series, but again like a lot of fujo bait and stuff like that, and like general everything is happening in Winbreaker is an accident. It's still a lot of fun. And you know what I also noticed is that anime added some context, some scenes, some flashback to the story. And that's why I was very happy that they didn't just follow the script of manga. They actually a bit expanded this world. And that's why I'm excited to watch more Winbreaker manga with spoilers part. So I'll start with Tsubakino, since I already started talking about him. I really like stories about characters who want to express themselves and actually don't harm anyone. Like Tsubakino never wanted to be a strong fighter or whatever. He had to learn that because he liked wearing skirts, dresses, being cute, makeup, and all his arc with those grandpa and grandma is so wholesome. It's actually cured my depression. I really love Tsubakino and everything around him, and he was one of my favorites until recent manga arc happened. And oh my god, Yamato Endo, the man you are, like, oh my god. we're going on a weird tour. Like, you know, I'm crazy over character and I don't even know who's gonna be his voice actor. Because it's crazy. I just enjoy when sometimes there's a character whose whole, I don't know, build up to him, like, oh, he's so strong, he's so mysterious, he's so unexpectedly weird or something, but his main scene is he's just extremely gay. that's all his character. He's just extremely gay. He's just so into his crushes, and also he can't stop falling in love. He's like, he has his main crush since childhood, and he devoted all his life to his man Chika Takishi, and now he's also found Sakura, and oh my god, I don't know, it's so silly to like him. But it's just every scene with him is so much entertainment. Like his first appearance, his technical first appearance is like during Kill arc, but I don't count that. I count the moment when he jumped off from the building and was like, it hurts, man. I expected to be cool, but I wasn't cool, and I'm like, this is literally all his character. He seems to be very, very cool, but he's actually not. It's gonna sound super weird, but it's one of the reasons I love Gojo too, because I'm one of those who thinks like, yeah, I mean, he's super attractive or whatever, but he's like super goofy, silly, and also not as strong as we tend to assign him to be. The same thing with Endo, but at least Endo is more, I think Endo is more sincere, because like he's pretending to be cool, but he's not, like, actually doesn't care if you find him cool or not. He actually cares only about things and people he likes and love, and he's so into this, he's so passionate about his feeling, so he's ready to mess up the whole city just to see the guy he's in love with, just to see the smile. I don't know, you know, like, if you're not able to, I don't know, destroy the whole town, the peaceful town, just to make me smile, don't call me. I'm not interested. And he's like, his character design is fun. He brought me back to drawing fan arts. I started draw more fan arts because I really love drawing him, even though his tattoos, and like I mentioned hair, but it's hard to draw his hair, but I still love it. Both his tattoos and his, like, oh my god, it's so silly, but I love it so much. And every week we're experiencing right now, like, the arc where we need to know, will Endo's crush actually notice him? And will Sakura break his heart even more, or Sakura will be Sakura and keep doing his nice tsundere things, which make other characters fall in love with him. Winbreaker fandom part. I gonna say it, I love Winbreaker fandom so much. I enjoy being there so much. I really like all people sharing all fan arts, and recently there was like this week there were no new manga chapter, so they organized a character popularity pool and let people vote. I mean, they used to do that before, but they did it again just to fill the gap, and everyone were so excited voting for their favorite characters. I don't know how to bot. So I mean, I don't know how to bot popularity polls on Twitter, so I was just enjoying the mess, and I'm grateful to anyone to people who voted for Endo and for the position he took. Yeah, so thank you very much. And yeah, and the fandom is growing, and everyone are super chill. I think Winbreaker right now is popular, but it's not insanely popular, so mostly bad takes are staying somewhere outside of my bubble, I guess. And people are very open, and it's just fun to vibe and talk about boys and what... and the way they treat their hair. Back into my theory about Satoru Nii sensei being a fudanshi, he spends so much time talking and showing us how those characters care about their hair. It's suspicious. It's suspicious. But, you know, like, even if Nii sensei is not a fudanshi, it's still... the manga is still gay, who cares? So, okay, I guess I'm gonna wrap up because I'm talking like for more than 20 weird minutes. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of fun things. I'm not only talking to the microphone and showing speed paints, I also make a very hardcore videos about Japan and my life in general. So yeah, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, and see you in the next one!